Why do animals hardly exercise, yet their muscles are so developed? Humans, however, must constantly work out. Look at the gorillas in the zoo. They spend their days eating and sleeping, without exercising. They still develop impressive muscle. Their muscle lines are quite smooth. Meanwhile, humans need to work out in the gym and consume protein. Some even use steroids. After consistent effort for 2.5 years, some may achieve minor results. There's also the risk of steroids. Even so, human muscles are laughable compared to gorillas. The current world record for deadlift is 501 kilograms. An adult gorilla can easily lift 800 kilograms. It's astounding. Once, a gorilla was seen fighting 2 T-Rex. Consider the kangaroo in Australia. Even in captivity, they don't move much. Yet their muscle lines are perfect. They can even crush a tin can with their bare hands. Other animals, like cows and horses in zoos, also develop muscles without exercise. Cows and horses without exercise can only get lean. There are many reasons for this. The main one is the genetic difference between humans and animals. Most vertebrates possess genes that inhibit muscle growth. These genes primarily regulate skeletal muscle growth to prevent excessive muscle development. Humans are unique in this regard. They rely on intelligence, which consumes a lot of energy. How much energy? Let's put it this way. After 2 math classes in high school, one would feel dizzy from hunger. Yet now, after 2 hours of scrolling videos, one still feels energetic. This shows how energy-consuming thinking is. More muscle means a higher basal metabolic rate, which requires less energy. Thus, brains and large muscles cannot coexist. Precious energy is allocated to muscle growth, leading to smaller brains. In other words, muscles are sufficient for humans. They don't need to be too large. Therefore, the muscle growth inhibiting gene is particularly active in humans. Human cells secrete large amounts of this inhibitor to prevent uncontrolled muscle growth. Animals, however, do not have the high energy burden, so their muscle growth inhibiting genes are not as active. For instance, the kangaroo gene has mutated, reducing its function. Thus, they still have large muscles without exercise. Another breed, the Belgian Blue, looks extremely impressive, also due to a genetic defect that inhibits growth. They can weigh up to 3 tons, all muscle. In humans, only a few have inactive muscle growth genes. Most need to work hard to build muscle. The essence of muscle building for humans is to tear muscle fibers through strength training. Then, they must consume protein to rebuild. Muscle fibers grow thicker and larger. Of course, this tearing and repairing method only applies to muscle. One should not be foolish. Additionally, to maintain muscle, some exercise is necessary. Being inactive for long not only leads to muscle loss but also stiffness and soreness. Moreover, since humans learned to use tools, hunting evolved into pursuit hunting. Pursuit hunting requires muscle, but endurance does not need particularly large fibers. Only explosive power does. Sprinters often have larger muscles, while long-distance runners are usually lean. This is the reason. One relies on power, the other on endurance. Since humans opted for endurance, there's no need for excessive muscle. From a genetic standpoint, storing fat is more favorable for survival. In times of famine, it can sustain life. Thus, from an evolutionary perspective, having a high body fat percentage is more beneficial. Even among mammals, humans have a relatively high body fat rate. Compared to livestock, humans are leaner. Pigs, which eat and sleep, do not exert themselves and have lower fat rates. This is the genetic setup. So why can many animals grow large muscles without exercise? It fundamentally relates to genetic focus differences. Humans envy gorillas sleeping all day and having larger muscles, while gorillas envy humans who can sleep all day without thinking, being smarter than circus monkeys. This is a fascinating aspect of nature.